Oh, sorry. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I was on mute. Sorry about that. Uh, we welcome to LinkedIn Live's podcast 110. Today, we are discussing on a topic of health and well-being. Are you an employee role model or a Pirahi? Welcome. We welcome our speakers Thomas, Rajiv, and Sunil to the dais. Welcome. Give me a sec. I'm bringing them onto the dais. Rajiv, Sunil, Thomas, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Over to you,
Thank you very
Thomas.
much.
Thank you, Prem. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And welcome everyone to our Regenesis LinkedIn Live session. This week, yet another important subject, but perhaps more important than most, which is health and well-being. And as an employer and as a manager or an executive or director, are you an employment role model or are you a pariah? Now, they're quite two different outcomes. And today we're going to explore how you and your organization can take the path of being a role model to encourage all your employees and all your managers to achieve and maintain not just good, but great health and well-being. Our focus will be on creating or showing you how Regenesis helps you create a supportive environment for physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Why does this matter? Well, of course, we all live a healthier, better life and we enjoy it more. But as an employer, it also means probably less sickness absence, less churn, or where you lose people to other organizations because they feel more valued, more appreciated, and more supported by the employer they work for in your organization. So, our discussion will be structured around 6 key areas that putting yourself or switching your organization or even your management role into Regenesis mode really supports. And these are number 1, hydration. Do you encourage hydration in your employees? And that means that making water available is a big thing. Number 2, do you encourage nutrition? Number 3, do you support exercise? Number 4, do you support sleep? So they're the 4 physical arenas where, as an employer, you can really role model a good example and you can support that in the way that you behave and the way you structure your environment. And then the last 2, number 5 and 6, are both, if you like, mental and emotional health and well-being. And number 5 is stimulating. Do you take steps in your relationship with each and every one of your employees to stimulate the development of their career and life goals? Because most people don't have them, and that disadvantages them in relation to you, and obviously disadvantages them as individuals. And number 6 is supporting, not so much providing mental health services, but supporting good practice in terms of the way people can look after themselves to support their mental and emotional health. And we'll be talking about each one of these today. And as always, joining us today are our distinguished panelists, Rajiv and Sunil and Prem. And each of these people are experts in the whole employment and Regenesis arena. And I'm going to be asking for their insights and strategies on how they can move or use Regenesis to move employers to make practical adaptations, create conducive environments, and provide stimulus that helps employees sustain the critical aspects of their health and well-being. So we also would like you to join in. We encourage an interactive discussion and welcome your questions and comments throughout the session. And I'm sure that Prem will bring those in if you drop a message in the chat here. So where we'd like to start is number 1. And it's number 1 because it is the most important. And this is hydration. And it's the number 1 to our physical and mental well-being because studies such as the avian study in France, the avian water study, show that proper hydration can improve intellectual performance and productivity by over 11%. And the medical fraternity, I've seen a study there, which shows that 65% of all kind of early onset illnesses seem to have dehydration as a factor. It also has nutritional deficiency as a factor, but they're really big numbers. So it really makes. So let's discuss how employers can ensure their workforce stays well hydrated. So let's open the conversation. Sunil, what's your experience? How can organizations provide a ready supply of water and encourage employees to drink it regularly?
Thomas, first of all, give me this opportunity to thank you for, taking this important topics because, we are here and discussing a lot of things regarding the management, regarding the leadership quality, how to improve. But this is very, very important that we are talking regarding the employee well-beings and their health. So if the employee will be healthy, the organization will be, that they will give more output, they will be well managed, they will be, their performance will improve, as you have rightly said, by 11%. That is a study shows, and 11% is a huge performance. So it is very, very important for any organization to encourage their employee to be hydrated. They should maintain their hydration level. And I think that we are developing the KRA, what exactly you have to do, how to measure it. So we have to create an environment and we have to encourage the employee that yes, it is very, very important for you. And we have to encourage them that yes, the water, good water quality is available. And if you are drinking it, if you are hydrated, then your performance will be better. So for that, some types of movement, some types of motivation things would happen. Yeah, it may be, laughing point. It may be looks very small, but I will say that why not set a HRA should, measure that how many liters of water you are drinking in the day, and that water should be readily available at their place. There should be, facilities where they can have this water, and there should be that today we are living in a technology age. Then there should be some measurement which can bring competition among the employee, and they should find that this is very, very interesting, that we are competing and we are maintaining our health, and we are ensuring that yes, we are taking 2 liters at least at our workplace in whole day, 2 to 3 liters. So that type of environment. And Thomas, you always talk regarding one-to-one session. So this is an opportunity for managers and leaders that when he talk to their people, he should emphasize on these things, because these when they talk regarding the health and well-being of the employee, I personally feel this is an opportunity that he he is developing the bond with that employee, because this is not related with any performance, this is not related with any job related talk, this is only purely for that employee only. So if that during that one-to-one session he will bring this also in the discussion, that will motivate the employee, that will give the confidence to the employee that my manager is not only a professional person, we are having a special bond for that with them. And that bonding will basically create an environment where the employee will be healthy, employee will perform better, and at the same time the organization, the performance will improve.
Sure, sure. Okay. So, Rajiv, what are your experience of practical steps that helps with the workplace culture that kind of encourages proper hydration?
Yeah, so again, thank you, Thomas, for choosing a very, very important topic. And see, I have seen and I have been head of HR and administration in a good multinational. So, we used to always be very particular about, the requirement and the fulfillment of the need of hydration for employees. We used to have a perfect system where not only so in a manufacturing company sometimes there's a line which is functioning, and each worker has a role to play in that line. So the factory manager or the supervisor has to actually really plan how to relieve that employee who has to maybe uh, move away from the line to fulfill his hydration or his or her hydration needs. So there has to be a clear cut thought process. As Sunil said, the HR has to really think how they have to make sure that a very structured approach is available and all employees are aware about it. And not only that, there should be awareness campaigns for the employees, because we have seen during COVID times that people who were hydrated, or who were having good health, they were able to cope up with the COVID-19 more effectively as compared to those who were not so perfect health-wise. So I think now the world is fully aware that the importance of maintaining your health and fitness. And for the other employees, we used to have, water being served to them at their desk itself, so that they don't have to bother to get up and lose on time. So sometimes, the HR managers have to be really very, very calculative on to see to it that the employees are getting most of the facilities very near to their desk or workplace. And that is what practically I have handled. So I thought, let me share that with all of you. Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's kind of two kind of aspects to this, isn't there? There's the organization. How does the organization know its employees are looking after themselves, and are they providing facilities? And I'd like to share just two stories that come to my mind. The one is where some structural aspects that don't get set up. So, for instance, I've seen employers set up whole plants, whole office blocks, or whole manufacturing facilities where there is literally no supply of any drinking water. So there's not a tap anywhere that has potable water for drinking, which is incredibly awful. And I've also seen quite long meetings in hot rooms get started with maybe 10 or 15 or 20 or more people in the meeting, and it's hot, and they're going to be there for 2 or 3 hours, and there's not a single glass of water or jug of water anywhere. And everybody's supposed to cope with that. Now, that's all really bad for health. So there's just two clear ways where employers can make a very easy difference, which is to make sure there is a drinking water supply that everybody can get to, whether that needs to be in multiple points in a building or in a manufacturing plant, or whether some other arrangement needs to be made, or whether it's as simple as making sure every meeting that takes place, every office that's running, has a jug and some glasses available, so that everybody that sits down to do work can keep drinking water during the day. And it's amazing, at first they'll need to go to the bathroom a lot more, but as they get more used to drinking more water, then their kidney gets clearer and they drink less. They need to go to the bathroom less. So it's really interesting how all these things really, and of course, performance does go up. So let's kind of pan out a bit wider here about other things that you might have seen that make water readily available in the workplace, and examples of promoting regular water intake, and maybe to encourage Prem to join us as well about the role of technology. How do we remind people, employees, to stay hydrated? What can we do there?
I think with the new technology stuff that we are talking about, there are a lot of things that can be predetermined stuff like that, Thomas, where we can say, example is a water. This one, there is technology where you can say if a certain number of bottles are to be kept, and there could be an IoT device which says these are the number of bottles which are to be kept, and it has to be refilled based on the weight and stuff. You can use a lot of technology on that, Thomas.
Sure. And I guess we can do things like set up reminders on personal workstations, just to remember to drink. It's been an hour since it's read a reminder, so here's another. Remember to drink water. Keep yourself
Yeah,
hydrated. Yeah.
Most of
Also,
the times, people don't take that kind of a time to have that peace. But your point is valid, where we can keep reminders on drinking water as a healthy tip to the organization. Yes, that could be another point of that.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay. Anything more to add on hydration, folks?
I think it's
I
very,
think
very important. One, really funny example I can share with you. I was traveling overseas. I won't name the country. They were serving hot water to the employees in the summer. So I was very surprised, and I asked why you are serving hot water to the employees in the summertime. So they said that we have 500 employees, and they tend to go to men's room more often if we are serving hot water, cold water. So there are good examples, there are bad examples, but let me tell the HR guys present here that you need to be actually mindful of the health of employees, and you must actually take care of them, because good employee who is having good health is asset for the organization. So be very particular about it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Sunil, any final words?
I think uh, nowadays, the technology is there, so people are using the technology also. And two, three important things here are that, we have to create the awareness among the employee that how water is useful, and we should not waste these water. So nowadays, in every organization who are basically, so they sensitize the employee to not waste the water. There are various ways to use the technology. There are, dual flush toilets to save the water. There is automatic taps are there to save this water, and there are rain harvesting systems that is getting used in almost all the plants, and they encourage their employee also to do that. So the first thing is to save the water. The second thing is utilize those water in proper way in day-to-day life. And I have come across in one of the company where I was working, that in the meetings they used to it looks very small things, but it is very interesting. That they used to have very good glass bottles and full of water, so that water test was little different. So people, some employee get very very excited that okay, I'm going there, I will have lot of water there. So I've
Yeah.
seen that type of examples also. So there are various ways. So the important is that create awareness and motivate them to have more water, and show and demonstrate that the organization is very, very, careful and very, very supportive in terms of health of the employee. So these three things matters.
Okay, thank you. All really good and quite entertaining examples. Thank you, guys. And just one final point: only water is water. Carbonated water is in fact not water. Well, as soon as you put gas in water, it becomes carbonic acid, which is damaging to the body, the bones, and your teeth. Just a little example why only water is water. So when we're talking hydration in Regenesis, we are talking water. Okay, let's move on to number two, nutrition. Uh, Also plays a crucial role, obviously, in maintaining overall health, because if you get nutritional deficiencies, well, you join the 65% of people who become unwell, either mentally or physically, as a result of nutritional deficiency. The quality of food available to employees can significantly impact their wellness, as can their knowledge about the subject. So let's explore how employers can facilitate access to and a liking for nutritious food as opposed to food which probably lacks nutrition or, in fact, actively does harm. You often go to an employer's place and you'll find that the only foods that are available from vending machines or maybe an in house canteen, and none of it is very good. None of it is particularly nutritious, and it encourages obesity and all sorts of health problems over time. You won't notice it in a month or in a week, but over 2 or 3 years, you'll notice that your employee's health is not quite where it should be because they're spending maybe 6 or 8 hours with you a day and actually harming themselves by what they eat. So let's open up. What types of fresh food should employers ensure are available in the workplace? Let's have some views around Sunil, Rajiv, and Prem. Take it in turns, please.
I think, Thomas, we all know that as far as nutrition is concerned, our food should have all the three ingredients. You know, green vegetables. We should have grains, and then we should have fruits. So there is a diet chart, and good organization basically have this dietitian in their role, and sometimes they have consultation with some good dietitian, and overall well-being of the employee is getting monitored, and that is very very important things. And nowadays you might be you must be aware that India Prime Minister has taken the initiative that millet, they are promoting the millets. So there is one scientist in India that is called Dr. Khader. They always say that as far as grains are concerned, there are three types of grains available in this world. One is basically the grain that is called rice and wheat. That is a grain which is basically, if you are consuming, so there is a chances that that will give some health, not good benefit, but that they will they will create you some issue in your health. There are second type of millets, so grains, that is called neutral grains. So they will neither give you benefit nor they will give you any advantage. That is neutral. You can consume and you will be filled and you will find okay. They will not give any negative impact. But most important is there are third type of grains which is called, you know, the superfood millets, and those five millets are having the potential to reverse your, you know, all the issues any human is having. Either it may be blood related issue, either it may be regenerative issue, either it may be reproductive, so any type of issue. So there are five grains that is basically having that potentials. So nowadays in India, Dr. Khader is basically promoting this, and there are absolute demonstrated fact. The person who is having, you know, the sugar, and they have reversed. So the sugar has within 1 or 2 months they have become absolutely fine if they have started consuming those type of millets. So that is the power of food grains, and we always say that we have to treat our stomach as a temple. So and we have to see that what we are what we are basically eating, that is going in the temple, so that is good for that temple or not, that is very very important. So I will say this awareness has started in India. I think Indian Prime Minister has discussed with I think WHO also. So the millet is getting promoted all across the world, and in India we have started growing more and more millet. We have started exporting those millets, and the benefits are demonstrated. This is not that we are talking in air. So those benefit of those millets have started. Some of my friends in America, they have also basically have communicated to me that in American community also these millets have become very very popular. So that type of awareness is very very important. And as far as health benefit and other thing is concerned, at organizational level also, there are HR is basically creating those awareness among the people. They are identifying that what type of issues their employees are facing, and they're basically making those millets available to them. So that is how organization can help the employee and ensure that their employees are healthy, and they can, they can be more productive at workplace.
Sure. Okay, thank you. Very good advice there. There's a lot of stuff available at the national level. And maybe, Rajiv, what's your thoughts around how we pass this high quality kind of training, really, and education? How do we make that, how do organizations make that possible to pass through to employees? What have you seen that's worked?
Yeah, every organization has different level of people. So one, important aspect for every organization and every HR head to take care is that the cafeteria or the place where the employees get their food or supper or whatever, they that place should be well monitored by a proper dietitian. The quality of food should be perfect. The as nutritional values need to be measured. You need to make sure that you're not only looking at the costing. You must look at the actual quality and delivery of perfect food for your employees. And many big organizations these days, they have not only dietitian, they have doctors, they have people who are regularly guiding and motivating the employees to stay healthy. So that is another very important thing which I feel uh, should be inculcated in the habits of the employees. Um, they has to be a well-paid ecosystem, because the employees can really enjoy the nutritional food or good food if they are getting paid well. So I think this is another angle which lots of companies and lots of HR heads have to be very uh, clear and particular about that. Okay, the minimum, of course, government in India also has those minimum wage structures, but I think we need to think beyond that. We need to make sure that all our employees are taken care, and they have facility, not only facility, but they have a capacity to buy that fresh and high quality food. And people are having vending machines, people are having a lot of in-house infrastructure, uh, uh, a good nice cafeteria which encourages them to go there. And they also have some flexible timing, so that people can actually balance their work timing, and the timing for which they can go and have different breaks and food at proper cafeteria level. So that's these are the things which corporates are doing these days. And I'm sure the experience which all of us have seen all across the globe, things are improving, and people are now becoming more and more conscious about maintaining their health. And there should be an education system as well within the organization, where you kind of train your people uh, on the importance of staying healthy. And that leads to less number of people taking leaves. So it's a win-win situation for the company also. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Another whole bunch of really innovative ideas there. And this is quite a motivational area to look at. Another area that I'd be interested is going back to, I think, being working for an employer. We might spend half our waking hours there for anything up to 30 years in our life. That's a massive investment of time. I think it's reasonable as employees that people expect that to be a beneficial experience. So, what about technology, Prem? What can we do with our technological infrastructure inside the company? How can we use things like social media? Because we're not only influencing the employee, but we might be improving the health and well-being of their family as well. We're a really great employer. Any thoughts around some of those issues?
One thing that what I would take from Rajiv's pointer is that many of the organizations have started monitoring the kind of food that is getting wasted as well, right? So there is technology that is being used to see how much of data of food is getting wasted, and that is getting without waste. How do you look at serving a meal based on what you want to have and what is to be not leftover, right? So that way, one way is looking at, and taking a cue of again dietitian and stuff. Now, every organization has looked at using technology to see what kind of food is getting listed out, and what is the kind of food that is getting prepared. Their places of hygiene have been checked up using technology to monitor. Predominantly, IoT devices are being put in place where they monitor each transaction or the kind of usage is happening in these cafeterias and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. Sure, and I guess AI and things like that, technology like that, could look
Yeah,
at the whole procurement area of food into an organization and then predict the impact it would have on employees if they ingested all that was being procured. So,
yeah,
Thomas, Thomas, excuse me, I would like to add one more point here.
sure.
Nowadays, when we talk innovation, so innovation is not only the way we are developing our product and our services. Innovation, innovative ways how to serve and how to take care of our employee, that is also very, very important. So
Yeah.
that is the innovative way of serving or taking care of employee. That is the role of HR. And I have seen some of the organization under CSR, they adopt 2 and 3 villages, and whatever dietitian suggests that these are the things they should be on the plate of your employee. So they adopt those villages. They create awareness among those farmers, and they educate them, and they ensure that they should get fresh and organic food for their employee. So that is also initiative nowadays organization is taking.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some great stuff going on for sure, and we just need to help it spread. And which is also one of the main points of Regenesis. We're just trying to help organizations switch into a more self-renewing and self-growing mode of operating at all levels. And these are such simple things to do. So let's introduce another number three. It's not quite as important as one and two, but it's nearly there with the other two, which is exercise. What good practice have you seen around organizations encouraging exercise? The three of you. Rajiv first, then maybe Prem, then Sunil. Please,
Yeah.
Rajiv.
So I think this is something very, very interesting and unique, which has really changed the mindset of people. So most of the organizations, which are big organizations, they have their in-house gym. They encourage their employees to, you know, start their day from the gym or end their day with the gym. And also they have small facilities like either they can do yoga, or they can do play table tennis, or such in-house activities they can do, which can keep them fit. And also I have seen many HR heads are now making sure that time to time wellness activities are done. So in India there is a new concept of even you can do yoga on your chair, sitting on your chair. So some trainer comes and they actually make them do maybe 45 minutes of yoga, uh, off and on. So these are the important aspects which are being inculcated into employees. They are encouraged to do physical activities, and especially the staff which is more IT oriented. As you know that many IT companies are now becoming too successful, and but their employees have to be sitting all the time. So all the Googles of the world and all the big names, they are actually using this tool as a employee retention strategy also, and they are actually giving lots of facilities to their employees to keep them and I just last example is that they have kept cycles within the campus. If you have a very big campus, they have bicycles at various places, so the employee can use the bicycle from one place to the other and can do exercise as a for movement also. So all these things are being encouraged, and I think this is a very good environment is being created for healthy lifestyle.
Sure, absolutely. All of that. And I'm seeing much of the things that you mentioned as well. And I'm also noticing there's more and more standing workstations.
yeah,
Uh,
Yeah.
Somebody titled the traditional sitting workstation, where you sit in a chair and work a computer all day, as a death station. And so then that encouraged somebody else to invent standing workstations where you can stand up and work, or you can sit if you can have alterable height desks. Really interesting. What about you, Prem? What have you seen working in exercise?
As Rajiv rightly said, I work for large corporations where I saw gym, and I was part of the. I was taking care, using the facility for in the evenings while I could not do it in the morning. So the day used to end with going to a gym for an hour, and they used to be the facility had trainers, personalized trainers also there, who used to tell them about what are the kind of exercise post day that you do and how you can take care of your health. There were yoga centers, like what Rajiv said. There were some of the there were marathons which were being organized to encourage the employees, and they used to put their name in their t-shirts and give it to them so that they feel that they are part of this, and that kind of activity, yearly one activity used to happen. And shuttle was there. There are a lot of facilities that were created in these organizations. They had inter-LOB competitions for cricket and tennis and stuff like that. There are a lot of activities the organizations have taken and taken action on, and it is predominantly the employees who have to look at and how to take care of themselves. And it all starts with me to start with, because the facilities are always been there, but how much of the effectiveness is what we have to push is from the individual standpoint, is what I think, Thomas.
Sure, sure. So we have to really motivate the
Yeah,
employees to want to take care of themselves and to
right.
know it's okay within the organizational culture to put some of our attention on maintaining our well-being. I
Yeah,
think that's the key message.
right.
Sunil, anything to add here? What's your peak experience in terms of exercise use at work?
I think both Rajiv and Prem has explained what exactly the organization is doing right now. The important part is that now the HR guy is having their KRA, that how to motivate the employee to adopt these practices, because the facility is available. Most of the organization are having that facility, and they're having yoga session, they're having trainers, they're having gyms, they're having bicycles available. But how to motivate and ensure that people are utilizing those facilities? So the KRA of HR people is basically linked with those. So they are having that type of session. And more important thing is, they are giving that, customized services, providing to those employee who are basically with them, and ensuring that they should use those facility, and making them aware that we are here to take care of you, so these facilities are available, and you will get the customized solution for those issues. Because everybody is different, everybody requires different type of exercises, so they should not do in isolation. So when we talk regarding the customization, that gives a feeling to that employee, that yes, if something is available, readily available to us, then why not utilize that facility? And that is getting encouraged by HR team. So, and that is getting measured also by HR team. So that is a part of their KRA. So if that is some of the way by which HR ensures that the whatever facility has been developed by the organization, that should be getting utilized by the employee, and that employee will get benefit out of it.
Great. And I think what we're seeing is a gradual change in the quality of the relationship between employers and employees. And it's been very nice. Thank you, all of you, for illustrating that with some great examples. Now, another important area, and I only want to spend a little time here because I want to spend most of the remaining time on the two mental health areas, uh, is sleep. And if each of you could just come up with what you see as the best example of how that encourages employees to look after their sleep habits, I'd be really interested. So maybe start with Prem this time. Number one example, and then maybe Sunil, and then finally Rajiv, please. So Prem, what's your number one example of sleep encouragement?
Thomas, I think what is happening over the period is that we are connected always. We should start disconnecting ourselves, is what I see as a practice. Now, if you really look at we were discussing this in some of our discussions yesterday, right? Where we said in today's world we are connected all the time, right? That is one thing that we should start putting into action. Saying that in the older uh, workplaces, like you had your desktop there, you switch it off and the day ends for you. Now it's not
Mm.
like that. Then they came laptops, then there came mobile device where you are connected always, right? So that we should encourage employees or anybody to disconnect for a while and prioritize work and have a balance. That's what I feel is very important in going on, Thomas. That
Okay.
health, it is said as you grow older or you mature in the organization, the work tends to become more and more. So what happens is you tend to extend beyond a point and you spoil the health. We should run a work-life balance kind of a mode where people start putting off after certain period. This we have tried to do in certain two organizations which I worked on, where we set deadlines, but beyond that also an hour or thing which get used to get extended, but we cut down on those things and we found a drastic change in the employee well-being, Thomas.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Thank you, Prem. Sunil, what would be your number one example for sleep encouragement? Good sleep encouragement.
I think I think a study also proves that it is very very important to stick to a sleep schedule. So it is not that today is party day, today is Friday, so I will go on bed at 1 o'clock and then I will come out. I will wake up at 10 o'clock, something like this. So I think for healthy living, it is important that one should maintain the sleep schedule, and particularly when you are growing and you are becoming 50 plus or 60 plus. So it is very very important to maintain the sleep cycle and sleep schedule. If you are not maintaining that, sometimes you will find that whole night we are sitting and we are not getting sleep. So
Absolutely.
that happens. So as we always say, that consistency matters. So consistency matters not only in the work, not only in the learning, but even in sleeping. And if someone is basically maintaining the consistency in sleeping, then they maintain the sleep cycle. And once they maintain the sleep cycles, they get good sleep, and the next day is great day for him, and they can wake up and they can say himself that I will make my day a great day. So but the first important thing that they have to understand this. The second important thing is I will say that it is very very important to create an environment of restful environment. So when you are going to the bed and when you are in home, so at that cycle, your environment should be such, your routine should be such, your meetings should be such, your home should be managed in that way, so you should not get disturbed. Suppose you are, sometimes we all are a social person, so you have to meet your friend, you have to meet your family. So that management should be in such a way so that that sleep cycle should not get disturbed, because ultimately you have to take care of everybody. But at the same time, if you're managing your time management is such so that your sleep cycle is not getting disturbed, then you will get good sleep, and everything will be fine. The third important thing I will say that it is very very important to maintain this physical activity. If the people are not doing the physical activity, getting good sleep is not possible. So if you're maintaining this physical activity 30 minutes or 45 minutes every day, either you are walking or we are going to gym, whether you're swimming, then that will help you to maintain the good sleep. So that is very very important. And one more thing I will say that uh, awareness regarding these and creating to understand the importance of this is very very important. But until unless you will understand the importance of this, those cycle you can't maintain. And promote these type of things with your employer, with your colleague, with your friends, with your well wishers. That is very, very important because, if you are maintaining that and if you are helping others also to maintain, then you are creating good environment for you also. So that
For
is what I
sure.
think.
Lots of really good
Uh,
ideas in there. Thank you. Rajiv, any thoughts
Yeah,
to add to this?
so I will very say in very few words. I saw, in one of my overseas companies that they used to switch off lights in the lunch break also, so that the employees can take a nap. And there were a facility of even retiring room was there, so that if somebody wants to little bit stretch also, the facility is there. Because manufacturing companies I have worked with, and manufacturing is a very tough exercise. And in the evenings also there has to be a discipline of maintaining the timing. If you are asking your people to stretch too much, and you are making them work till maybe 9 or 10 o'clock in the night, and then you expect them to have a fresh mind next day morning, that's too much to think of. So a lot of HR managers have started this practice that, okay, there is a time which is fixed. Okay, we'll switch off the lights after that. And they encourage their employees to go back home and have a rest and proper sleep. Uh, the most
Yeah,
important thing is, don't give stress to your people, no. So if you are supposed to encourage them to stay healthy, have that kind of environment or a culture where you remain calm, and keep them teach them how to remain calm. So I think these are the mantras of keeping your employees happy. You can have a good sleep, and you can the same to gift the same to your employees.
for sure. Thank you for that. And that, of course, is a reminder to pay attention to having good, well designed work processes. So it's organized and it's not disorganized with duplication of effort and wasted effort. It's actually quite a smooth flow to maximize the flow without, as you say, stressing your employees. Some very, very powerful inputs there. Now, in the last area, there's two issues that I'd like to introduce, and then I'd like to take your comments. And I'm mindful we've got 12 minutes left, so we'll need to be each of us fairly brief. The one is, make sure, underpinning this, you have a process where you encourage all of your and help all of your employees surface their long-term life and career goals and align what they're doing at work for you with those to help them get that thinking done. And great one-to-ones uh, are really a good part of that. And then beyond that, I think part of that one-to-one educational and training and development and pastoral relationship with employees is also encouraging them to have good mental habits and good emotional habits. So if, as so many people do, they have uncomfortable feelings or they may be a bit stressed, you offer them strategies and ways to think that allow them to let go of those stresses, uh, maybe to refocus on where they are in the present moment and then focus on what needs to be done in order for them to move forward successfully. So it's so many places I see installing mental health practitioners, encouraging time to be spent working on emotions. And I don't necessarily think that's a good way because it's turning what is an ordinary fact of life, which is emotions and maybe feelings, into an illness of some kind. Whereas actually what people need, if you go to the very best mental health practitioners, they're encouraging people to get good habits, good mental habits. So those two things. One, your experiences, your top experience with career and life co-development. So what have you seen there? And second, good mental habits. What have you seen there? So maybe roll those two together and one at a time, perhaps, please. Again, please. Starting with you, Sunil, and then Rajiv, and then Prem, please.
I think this is very, very important, Thomas. We all know that every individual is different. So when somebody in the organization, some employee of the organization is with you, you have to deal with them differently. So the one most important thing nowadays people used to do that they map their skill set, they explore, they find out their passion, their strength area. The third important thing is they map, they find out their personality type. We all know that there is MBTI personality type. So once they identify these three things, and then they sit with them, they find out where they fit in the organization. And when HR people do all those things, then this is the job of leader to sit with one to one with that employee, find it out that where this employee will will fit and where they will perform in best possible way, and what will be their future roadmap in the organization. So the first step is finding out their personality type, their skill set, their passion, their other aspects, and then find out where they fit in the organization. So that is the alignment of their work that will basically help the organization to get maximum from that individual. So when this exercise is getting done, then believe me, I have seen, and I have done also at one or two places. Then that not only ensures that the employee is basically getting retained for longer period. They don't want to leave the organization. They enjoy their work. The second is their productivity improves. Third, the bonding with the organization improves a lot. They don't come every day that, okay, I'm going, I don't know what will happen today. When they come, when they wake up in the morning, they get excited to go at the workplace. They are having enthusiasm that I have to do something different. They have to enthusiasm that whatever things I am doing, what value addition I can do today. So those type of environment makes a great difference, and that is how their career get aligned, how they are having that transparency and clarity regarding their life goal, their career goal. So their benefit is there. The second is organization is getting benefited out of their potential. So that is the whole cycle, and that is the role of the HR, role of the leader, and the employee. So that is how it works, and I have demonstrated it. I've demonstrated it at 3, 4 organizations, where at 2 organizations where I have basically supported them in their journey. So as a mentor, and 2 organizations where I was CEO, and I have seen the difference after doing these practices.
Yeah, that's great, Sunil. That's great. And absolutely, this is a central part of the Genesis process that we're all kind of encouraging organizations to take on. What about you, Rajiv? What have you seen in terms of career
Yeah.
and life goals and good mental health, good mental habit encouragement, good emotional habit encouragement?
See, I have always believed that every employee wants to be successful.
Yeah,
And same as the attitude of the organization, they also want to be successful. So if you are able to align these two things, that you align the goals of employees with the goals of the organization, and you are able to make that seamless activity, and make that reward system also which is aligned with this success. uh, it works very well, like a well-oiled machinery. So I think as a HR manager, you must be very having a good system of transparently displaying to the employee that, okay, this is your input and this is your output. And every year, then you don't have to explain to them that, oh, your appraisal is this percentage, and why the other person is having a y percentage, yours is x. So people are they understand that if they have to earn more, they have to actually align their activity towards the growth of the organization. So this is one activity I think all good organization having perfect work culture they are having. And if you're not having, uh, uh, to join Regenesis, and we are here to support you with the right kind of ideas and methodical work processes. And the important aspect of mental and emotional health, which is becoming more and more relevant these days, because the employees are at the end of the day human beings, and they have that emotion. And I always worked with cross cultural and a lot of expatriates as well. So everybody comes with a different background. If you're born in America, your habits are going to be American. If you're born in India, you are going to think like an Indian. But then how to align those things, and you try and bring these two different cultural people together and make them work as a team. That's where again I would say we can offer you good solutions by way of Regenesis. Try and maintain a good balance between the mental health of the employees, and make sure that they are working and having a very good culture in the organization. There's no stress. You need to have in India these days, posh committees are mandatory. So the women employees should be properly protected from any kind of sexual harassment or anything like that. So all those aspects are very, very important. In even governments are monitoring this aspect uh, at a broader level. But as a head of the organization, one should actually take care of this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what's coming out of this is no culture, no nation has a monopoly on all the best ideas. And so when you start getting international collaboration, cooperation, there's the opportunity to share good ideas between cultures. So I've seen really good things start to emerge. So the question is, what does good look like? And people like to be successful in work. They want to be successful in their life. They want to be well thought of in their family, in their society, and so on. So there's a whole load of areas of potential success here, and the employees need to help all of that happen. So I'd just like to thank you all for your kind of valuable insights, and maybe to ask Prem to kind of draw it all together from his point of view. How do you see all this coming together? Uh, how can employees become the employers and organizations become the role model that we're looking for to encourage and improve futures for us all? Prem.
Thanks so much. What I feel is there should be a motivation towards well-being, is what I see with what we are talking about, health and well-being. The point that we should look at is we spoke about how employees should engage the facilities that the organizations have in terms of having a gym that is there. They, most of them don't utilize it. So that's one thing that they should look at utilizing and make use of it. Those facilities are available for employees. The other thing is focus on reading something new every day, something that may change your thinking process. Now if you are talking about technology, you are passionate about technology, read something on technology, latest trends and stuff like that. Then you can start looking at some kind of motivational or leadership kind of a thing, where it gives you an idea, where these kind of talks that we speak about, a lot of sessions happen around these kind of topics, where you can get an idea to handle things better. While you read a book, you may not get. These sessions are pretty important sessions that happen over the period, and if you start concentrating on these kind of sessions, you get better ideas on how to manage things better. That's what I think helps people to gain things faster, is what I feel, Thomas.
That's great. And I'd like to part with one final thought. Behavior flows to wherever the reinforcement is. And if you think about all the ideas we've heard today, how do we make that difference? That's it from us today. I look forward to seeing you or talking with you again next week.
Thank you.
uh, So we would like to summarize on what we discussed today. Overall, we spoke about well-being, the facilities, keeping our minds calm, cutting off at periods where you think there is getting overwhelmed. Have a proper sleep on your mandate. And what Sunil was saying was you should have a session, whether it is a Saturday or a Sunday. The sleep pattern should be the same, and you should follow such kind of habits that can be good for your health and well-being. With this, we would like to conclude our session for today. Thank you for joining us on LinkedIn Live. Please follow us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hope you had this discussion valuable. Our next podcast is going to be on 27th tomorrow, where we talk about write your way to clarity, how writing shapes you are. Looking forward to see you tomorrow again. Goodbye. Good day for now. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prem.